Alright guys, what's up? I just want to give you a quick rundown on my boat build. The story behind this boat was I got it from my stepfather when he passed away last fall. It was just a rowboat, and he had a little Johnson Seahorse 10 horsepower on there. I think it was like a 58. And then eventually I got him this 18 horse, and he used that for probably, I don't know, a couple years, 2-3 years to get him around. And yeah, so when he passed away, my mom was just gonna bring the boat to the scrapyard because it was in pretty rough shape. I'll try to post up some pictures, but the trailer was beat up, the boat was pretty beat up, and she didn't really want it, but I said I'd take it and, you know, try to restore it, and that way to have it and pass it down to my son when he's ready. So we're just gonna do a quick walkthrough. I started with the trailer. The first thing I did was I extended it 2 feet by taking the tongue piece off and buying a new piece of steel that was, I think it's 10 feet instead of 8 feet long. So that gave me 2 extra feet of tongue, because without it the boat hung off the trailer a good amount, and I really didn't like that. So, and then I got new tires, new wheel bearings, bearing buddies. So, and these are the heavier grade tires because I did add a little bit of weight to the boat. So, and then I added these guide posts, just PVC. You just heat it up on the bend here with the heat gun to give it that angle. Put these lights on top. When the sawyer lights are on, it has the amber light facing forward and the red brake light, or it's just a red running light facing backwards. I did install new LED lights. I put these belt buckle minis on here. These are really nice. All you have to do is click down, push it up, then it's loose. Strap it down. And so clip it on here. I have a little eye bolt that runs through where the oar lock goes for the oars. And you just click that once, and then it's snug. Oh, those are really nice. Makes things a lot easier. Spare tire with the lock. New safety chain, new winch. This roller is one thing that I'm going to have to replace. It was underneath here, and I didn't really like how that was configured, so I moved it up here, but I had to add this brace to give it the extra length. So eventually I'm just going to take either a piece of, you know, 1/8 inch aluminum or steel, bend it in this U and just make it longer, so this bracket is, you know, a nice long bracket, not this goofy thing. So new jack stand, new safety chains on the front. This is the original collar. It still works well. I got this step on here. That's nice, helps to get it in and out of the boat sometimes. I don't use it very often, but I have a couple times. I did add this extra roller to the trailer to help keep the boat up off the trailer, because actually without it the boat sits and rests right on the trailer. I don't really like that. I'm gonna add some new bunks because this was a Harbor Freight trailer, so it has these short bunks on the back. They're only about maybe 4 foot long. So what I want to do is extend them from the back up to that middle roller right there, and that should help getting the boat on and off the trailer a lot easier. Okay, back here to the motor. It's a 1962 Evinrude Fast Wind, 18 horsepower. I redid the paint on it. It's got this stupid tape on here right now because I didn't have a cowl gasket and it was rattling around. Since then I did put a homemade cowl gasket on there, so I just got to take this tape off. I just haven't got around to it yet. The motor runs perfect. My Uncle Joel did a whole bunch of work to it, and I mean, it starts up first pull. It's a little loud, but it's an older engine, so it's just to be expected. Got the hydro footing on there, hydro coil, not the hydro coil, the whale tail or whatever you want to call it. So hydrofoil, not hydro coil. Okay, stainless steel plate back there, stainless steel diamond plate. No, actually it's aluminum, it's not stainless steel, sorry, it's aluminum. Put this sticker on there for my stepfather that passed away. A couple other stickers on this side. Okay, here's my stern light. So that goes. Actually, this is right here. So you pop this off. This goes right in there like that. And the light. This is my little homemade lure retriever. It's just an extending golf ball retriever thing for when you hit your golf ball in the water. And I took the little cup off the end, put one of these dollar rod holders that you stick in the ground, stuck that in there, glued it, put a little tape on there just to make sure. And it's got extends to about 10 feet. Definitely got a few lures back with it. Works well. All this decking I did myself. Let's see here, just a ruler. Just mounted that ruler. Nothing fancy. The Scotty mount. This is the whole GoPro. So it extends. I mean, I can move it whatever way I want. Tilt it, stand it up, tilt it all the way down. So, I mean, it's nice. It works really well. Okay. I have the tiller extension. This isn't quite long enough as I wanted it to, because I like to stand up right there, kind of hold onto the seat and steer, but this isn't quite long enough, so I might have to get a new one of those, a little bit longer. But that works for now. I don't like going back and forth. I'm sorry, guys. But under here is my gas tank is up in there, and this is just a throwable, an extra anchor. The middle here, I just got a toolbox, soft plastics, some extra tools, and miscellaneous stuff in there. Weigh bag. I installed this pump for my live well. It's a 1200 Tsunami. Pump's awesome. It has to go through about 7 feet of hose, and it does it no problem. I originally had a smaller pump in here that had a 3/4 inch fitting, and I think this is an inch and a quarter. And I didn't want to have to run all that hose and buy the extra hose again and spend all that money. So what I did is I took a piece of PVC that fit in there, glued that in there, and then the hose fit over that nicely, so that I could use all the original hosing and everything, and it works very well. On this side, we got some of the wiring. My bilge pump is over here. It runs out here, spits out the side if I ever need it. Never needed it so far, thank God. Here's an extra bilge pump that just connects right to the battery if I ever need it to bilge the boat out or fill the live well if the pump, one of the pumps goes. So this is my anchoring system. You just turn the knob here. I don't have an anchor hooked up, but the anchor hooks up right here. You just turn this knob and it releases. It'll drop your anchor, and then when you're ready, you just spin it and bring your anchor back up. Works really well. Okay, I got a little pouch there for some miscellaneous stuff. See, fire extinguisher, a couple more pouches. There's a cockpit light. Let's see here. Control motor, I got the Minn Kota power drive. I upgraded to the weedless wedge. I got the transducer mount. So I got all the wires custom ran so they don't get snagged up on the trolling motor. When a lot of trolling motors, when you mount them up front like this, when you're running down the road, they bounce around a lot. So what I did is I made this strap on this side. I just wrapped it around, and I took some Gorilla tape and wrapped it around to keep that secure for now. Eventually I'm gonna have my wife or my mother sew a loop in it so you know it stays on there secure, but I don't have all this goofy tape on there. But this side it did so you just unclip this when you're ready to rock and roll. You know, and that's just an old black strap I had laying around. You can get them off of anything really, old life vest. I mean, if you're a fisherman, chances are you got some kind of strap like this laying around that you're not using. So, here, I'll show you. If you unstrap this when you're going down the road, every little bump, this thing's wobbling around. So. And honestly, sometimes I'm looking out my rearview mirror just watching this thing bounce around as we're going on the road. So, I put this strap on here. And it still wobbles if you push it down, but it's not. It's much more secure. I mean, when I'm going down the road, it doesn't hardly move at all. So that works well. Got this cup holder. It's got a little storage spot too. It's got some bait hangers on the side. I did try to paint it black, but it's chipping off. I should have just left it white. But live and learn. I have this other lure holder. Got a place for, you know, pliers, place for a knife. I got the bungees on both sides for the rods, hold the rods down. These are just the cheap $10 Amazon ones. I think you get 2 or maybe 4 for, I think you get 4 for like 12 bucks. So, just got my rods. My rods cover my spinning on this side, my twisting on that side. So same thing, rod holders. See, I got my fender bumper, whatever you want to call it. So we don't bump into the dock, slam into the dock. I do have the Helix 5. It is a pretty small unit.
That's what she said.
But it works well for the, you know, the down imaging and the regular sonar. It would be nice to have, you know, like a 9, because it does have the down or the side imaging, but like I said, the screen's a little small. It's hard to get a good picture when, you know, your screen for the side imaging is only maybe 2 inches. So anyway, this front storage I built, all the framing is 1/16 aluminum angle. I think it's 1 1/4 inches, but this is just an old milk crate that I just riveted to the framing, so it's in there. I keep my baits in here, majority of them, hooks and hard baits and that kind of stuff, spinner bait box, butt pedestal, because it is a small boat, so if you're out on, you know, some bigger waters, it does get a little shaky. Here's the nav light for up front. This goes in there like that when it's time need be. Just got, you know, some rope in here, deck rope. This is the visor that goes over my, just custom made that with a piece of Kydex and some Velcro. Keep the sun off it a little bit. Couple ropes, some please release me in there. My center, I'm running 2 Everstart DC29 max batteries. Run them in parallel to get some more amp hours. Everything is ran to a fuse that's in here next to the what do you call it? Everything's ran to fuses on the in this power supply box over here, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, except for the fish finder, and it has its own individual fuse right here. So anything that I'm not running over there to that fuse box, if need be, I can put fuses in here for it, which is nice. Okay, I'll show you the other side, and then I'll show you the live well. This has just got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in it too, kind of just thrown in there. Scale, extra aerator, trolling motor, control, some scent, line, Tokyo rigs, headlamp, pliers, you get the idea. So, okay, this spot here, a couple cup holders. This is just a little storage spot. Got got a couple buffs, and this is for the fill and the live well. Okay, and here's where all the power goes. So I got a switch panel here. It controls the live well fill, my deck lights, my nav lights, the cockpit light, and the bilge pump. Also have 2 USB plugs and 12-volt cigarette lighter, voltage meter. This is the power on-off switch key. So everything is off right now. No power going to anything. That way my battery's not running dry. Turn that on. Everything's ready to rock. This is the couple of lights, LED lights in live well itself. Well, fishing at nighttime or something you can see in there. This is for my live well timer. So so, and my deck lights, I have red deck lights. It's daytime, so it's hard to see, but there's one there, and on the other side, behind that bumper. And when it's dark, it lights up this whole front deck very nice. And then my cockpit light is right here. Shines this whole floor area up at nighttime nicely. So here's my live well. It's all custom made into the bench. It's just a Sportsman tote. I just flipped the top upside down and put it on there and cut the hole out, and it kind of acts as a splash guard. I know it looks kind of goofy, but it does work well as a splash guard and keeping all the water in, and it makes it fit nice and tight underneath this bench. It's all framed in with aluminum. Had some leftover carbon fiber vinyl, so I just did that to make it look a little fancier. I got these call tags. When I got the call tags, they had the metal or the through the lip kind where you got to pierce them, and I didn't really like that, so I changed all those out for these fish grip kind. So in the live well, I put a little water in there. So for the timer, it sets for, as soon as you turn it on, it'll run for 30 seconds, and then if you just turn it on, it'll shut off for 2 seconds, then come back on. But I usually just crank it all the way up, and it does it runs for 30 seconds, and then it'll stay off for about 7 minutes or so. So I'll just show you guys. And I have the flow light nozzle. So, and it has a built-in Venturi vent, so that puts a lot of oxygen in the water when it's running like that. See, it shut off, turn right back on because I have the timer set on the minimum amount of time, but it works awesome. So once I get fish in there, I can just turn it on and crank it all the way up to about 7 minutes. So it'll run for 30 seconds every 7 minutes, and just forget about it really until the day's over. And I've had fish in there from before sun up to almost sundown, and when I take them out, they're still lively and good to go, and that's without any additives or anything. So and I put this little vent in here. A lot of people put live wells in their boats and don't put any kind of vent in there. I know the V2 system or that they run in boats, those are like $50. This is just a little cap from Home Depot, and I think it was like maybe 50 cents or $1. I just put that in there. It lets the excess heat out. It lets the carbon dioxide out. So, because that could be a problem in your live well too, all that built up carbon dioxide, so that lets that out. So that's pretty much my boat. Put some graphics on it, Fear No Fish. It's a little dirty. TBNation, Tiller Life. You know what it is. So and I'll just show you one more thing with this live well. So when you're running the timer for the aerator, you turn it on, and then when you're done with the day, You reach in here. And it pumps your water out. So that's nice. That way you're not shop backing your water out. Or if you got to fill your tournament bag, worse off for that. Yeah. It gets about 80% of the water out. As you can see, there's probably still about 2 inches of water in there. So my option were to either, put a drain plug in the bottom and run that to the back of the boat and have it drain out, or just shop vac it out. So for right now, I'm just shop vacuuming that little bit of water out. So it only takes a couple seconds to get that last little bit of water out. Not a big deal. Might eventually put some kind of drain in the bottom, but right now I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's my boat, guys. So let me know what you think. If you got any questions, let me know. And hope to see you in the water. All right, guys, have a good one.